Hello. Had a bit of a technical glitch there. Yeah. Had a bit of a technical glitch. Sorry about that. Um, hope this came up in the feed okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, today's Thursday, November 20th, 2025, 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, had a bit of a technical problem there. I don't know. I think I might have double clicked something by accident and ended the stream. Whatever. We're here. Hopefully, it comes up in the in my YouTube feed or in your feed or whatever. Let me just check one thing while we're here. Yeah, it comes up as live, so that's good. Yeah, the other one, I don't know what happened. Anywho, yeah, hope everybody's doing well today. It's a beautiful day here in southern Ontario, Canada. Beautiful day. Yeah, things are going good. I tried out my new camera. And yeah, I was experiencing a little bit of a technical problem there, Brian. I think I accidentally clicked go live and then clicked it again before it went live, like the OBS software. But whatever, it is what it is. I set up a new one really fast, so it didn't take very long. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, things are going good. I got the PCBs back from PCB Way. They're looking good. I need to, been digging into the video, start doing some of the video stuff. So that's really good for the next video, which is coming out next Wednesday, which we're going to be doing the assembly of the power supply and whatnot. So that'll be good. Get that up, get that going, right? So that'll be really good. Yeah, hopefully my connection is okay here. Should be okay. Anyways, just wanted to say, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say people's full names on here, so I'm just going to abbreviate. But we got a new Patreon member this week, Michael C. I'll call him Michael C. But thanks for joining, Michael. Appreciate it. Then we got our normal folks on Patreon too, right? We got Russ, we got Dr. Fenges, Jay, Brian S., Jesse, Gustavo, Xavier HW, Ed Boy, Angel B, G2X, Peter, Svart, G23, M23, Abnorm, Andro, Gabriel, George J, Brian H, and Honk Honk. Pretty cool. Got a nice little crew of Patreons. It's nice. It's a nice little crew of Patreons. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, been riding the algorithms wave lately. Got a nice little boost in subscribers on YouTube too, which is nice. I think we're over 2,000 now, which is nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just want to say, thanks, to Brian too. Brian, who's in the chat right now, Brian, let's call him Brian H. Anyway, just appreciate, he's on the Discord server a lot and he's answering people's questions and stuff. It's very helpful, and I really appreciate it, and everybody else really appreciates it too. So thanks, Brian. Just wanted to say thanks. Yeah, thanks to Gus too. Gus offered up a donation to the channel for some electronics design books, which is really nice. I'm gonna be in touch with him about that. Yeah. Russ, I don't know if you're here or not, but I sent you a DM, like a direct message through Patreon. So about those books. So let me know. We'll definitely have to figure out some sort of, how we're going to, depending on which ones I want, like how we're going to get them to me, due to the fact that I think either I might have to pay a little bit of duty, or he would have to pay duty. I'm not sure which one. I can't remember which way it goes. I always forget that part. But yeah, let me know. We'll figure something out. Well, I'm sure we can figure something out. Work that I've got done this week, like I said, I've been doing the PCB stuff. Got the PCBs back for the S3-1200. Getting that video done. Trying to edit the videos a little bit differently. This time, I think I'm going to try showing more of like the finished power supply first, and then like edit it to, and have that kind of like be more, at the start of the video, sort of like, like a precursor of what's to come. See if it makes people a little bit more interested in kind of, watching what's how it unfolds, if you will. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of the plan. And then, I also did a little bit of work down here in the basement. I actually, we were a 2-car family for a long time, and we ended up, selling one of our cars this week. So, we had, like our winter tires stored in the basement, and it was actually a big kind of area, in my workspace here. Took up a pretty significant footprint. So, it's nice to get those out of here. We got them out of here, got the car sold. So that's really great. Very pleased about that. Yeah. And then I, rigged up a camera above me. So, the overhead shot this week is probably hopefully a little bit better. You guys will be able to see stuff a little bit better. Yeah. And, all I did was actually use some bungee cords and some hooks, and, just suspending it from the ceiling, and seems to be doing okay. So if there's ever a time when I'm working and the camera comes flashing down, like just crashing down on my head, you'll know what that is. But it seems very secure. Seems okay. Anyway, so I threw out a little poll on Patreon. A couple of people replied to the poll, whether I should move the Sunday live stream at 8 p.m. to Monday at 12 p.m. And 2/3 of the people, meaning the 3 people that responded, 2/3 of the people said either one, and one person said Monday for sure is better for them. So I think I'm going to try Mondays. We'll see how it goes. I think the Monday live stream actually is going to be more of like, if I have time, if I'm on schedule, I'll definitely be logging in and doing work on that sampler. But obviously, the ESP32 sampler. But obviously right now the number one, the number one thing on the list, right, is the S3-1200. Because we got to get that thing going. Hey, thanks. Actually, it's not vintage. Johnny. Yeah, it's not vintage, actually. I got this last year. I saw them at the Lincoln Center in New York City. And I bought it then. And it's actually a really cool shirt. If I could show you, I would. But it's got all the gear that they used for the show on the back, which was really cool. And I remember because I dragged my wife along with me, and she was like, "Could you tell the difference between the songs?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course you can tell the difference between the songs." Anyway, we found that very comical. Very comical. Yeah, fair, Brian. Yeah, I'm thinking that the Sunday night thing is going to be moved to Monday, for sure. I was also, it also came to mind too, is because I have these bright lights right in front of me, right? It's like it's kind of screwing with my sleep on Sunday, which isn't the greatest. It usually takes me, like, if I'm online, like live streaming from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, for example, it's like I'm up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I've got little kids that have to get up for school. So yeah, so that's why I think it's probably for the best for everybody that we just move it, and then if people want to watch it on replay, obviously it'll be available, right? So yeah. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about this Line 6 Echo Park. How we're gonna fix this thing. I put out some photos on the Patreon, and got some feedback from Honk Honk, suggesting that I take this little piece here and 3D model it in Fusion to repair it. And let me see if I can I pull up the photo? Let me see here. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull up the photo. Do I have the photo? I do. I think it's this one right here. Yep, this is it right here. Can you guys see that? Let me just take a look. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, you can. Okay. Great. So this is what it's supposed to look like on the bottom of the Switch. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's got this little cross on here, right? And obviously mine does not have that. So let me show you what happened to this one. That's that one there. So as you can see, the little pieces broke off. And I'm fairly certain that that little cross piece is actually holding it sort of like in the enclosure. So let's go to the desk. Okay. So, so the spring is supposed to go on this leg here, I'm guessing. Let me see if I can show you guys that. Okay. And as you can see, it's broken off that cross piece. And I don't know if I tried showing last week, and I hope you guys can see this, but I did find two little plastic pieces in the enclosure. Sorry if that's hard. I'm having a hard time focusing. And they're very tiny. Very, very tiny. So I'm not 100% that I'd be able to glue it on and have it last more than a couple uses. So, kind of trying to spitball some ideas here, how we're going to do this, because I haven't heard back yet from Line 6. Now, it could take them, they might have like a support center that takes a little while to get back to you. And also, it's an old pedal they don't make anymore, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should try 3D modeling this thing? The only concern that I have with doing that is that it is that angled piece there. And I mean, I know from a little bit of 3D experience. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Johnny. Like, what I was thinking was there's like a couple things that I'm thinking. what if we now what if we go on this side, right? Sorry. You know what? Actually, I have a microscope camera here. Why don't I put that on, and so I can try and get a better look. Just give me a sec, guys, and I'm gonna try to get a better get you a better view here of what I'm gonna try and talk about. Hopefully, I can get it to focus. It's just like a little handheld USB microphone. So just give me a second. I'll try and get it in focus for you. Oh boy. So that's interesting, eh? Okay, so there's our table. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, here. Wait. Now I just gotta focus it. Oh man, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Let me try to get it centered. It's the when you're moving the camera like this, it's so okay. That's kind of the best I'm gonna do. So my thought is where you can see where it's broken off, right? And you can see kind of like a faint line down the center of it where those cross pieces were. So my thought is there's two ways that we could do this, right? And you guys let me know if you think this is a good idea or not. What I'm thinking is maybe we take a Dremel with like a super thin, like cutting or sanding bit, and just notch out like a little tiny area where I could maybe like super glue, like a small piece of plastic, a little tiny piece of plastic to like reform that cross piece. And then I could, then I could make it a little bit bigger and kind of like reshape it. That's kind of one of my thoughts, because I'm worried that about adding material to it too much, right? Because if I add material to it, it might screw up the dual switching, right? Because it might screw up the tap tempo, or it might screw up the on-off switching, right? So that was sort of my first instinct, is doing something like that. And that would certainly, I could make it so that it's big enough so that the plastic piece would be wide enough to hold it in place. I just worry about it, like how, like just whether it's worth the headache that it's gonna take me to do that. And either way, I think I need to 3D model it first before I try to do any modifications to it. That's kind of my gut instinct. Because then if I do, F it up, then at least I could print off a one that's a little bit similar, right? So that was my first idea. And then, so I think I can get off of this now because we don't need to be that close anymore. And then the second idea that I had was, and I'll try to show you as best I can, but as you can see, I'm going to use this top camera here. As you can see, it's kind of like, it's got these two different levels to it, right? So what I'm thinking is, what if I put like a thread on this circular area here, and then got like a nylon nut that was something that I could maybe shape into place, or if it's too big, for one thing, that I could sort of like shape to keep it in the enclosure, and then it would be sort of like a little bit tighter of a fit, right? And then you wouldn't have to worry about things like breaking again, really, because the chances of you breaking like a nylon nut or something like that would be pretty slim. It would just be whether I can put a taper on that, whether I can put the threading on that, because of the way that the two switches are set up. I don't know if I could get like a threading tool in that space to thread it enough that I could get it on there. But that's sort of my two ideas. And so, I know Honk Honk on Patreon, they suggested that I just 3D model it and 3D print it. You could put an old XMR pop switch in it. Yeah, you know what? I thought about that too, Johnny. The problem is that the way that this pedal is switches, it's a little bit different. I'll try to demonstrate how it works. The issue is that this switch, okay, when it's in the enclosure, it's hitting this and this at nearly the same time. So it's actually activating in two different spots. So obviously one of them is on off, right? So I just don't know if like a standard button would work in the same way. Like I'm not really familiar with what this switch is here. But it's obviously doing something. I just don't understand what it's doing. And it definitely gets hit first when you kind of like press down this button. So I don't want to modify the enclosure too much, because I think the guy who I'm repairing it for, I mean, I'd have to fly it by him to do that. Yeah. I'm guessing that it has to do with tap tempo. One is tap tempo and one is on off. That's just a guess. So that's why I'm reluctant to put any sort of like, I'm reluctant to put in like a standard button, like even like just like a soft, like one of those soft switches even. Yeah, so I'm reluctant to do that. And, I think the guy would prefer that it remain sort of like original. So that's why I'm kind of stuck either waiting for line 6 to get back to me whether they actually have more of these. I mean, I could find like a donor, but I mean, it's an Echo Park. Like, nobody's got like an emotional attachment to this pedal. You know what I mean? It just sounds cool. There's no vintage cachet to like a line 6 Echo Park, I think. So yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, either I need to figure out a way to modify this existing button so that I can repair this part, or I 3D model it, 3D print it, and make it a little bit more robust so that it won't break so easily. That's kind of where I'm at. Now the problem is that it does have to be kind of, small, right? Because, or like the 3D print would have to be pretty fine. Because if I show you these little pieces, let me grab some tweezers, just one sec. So if you look at these pieces, let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on. So they're pretty fine, right? So my guess is that when it was on either side of that, right? On either side of that, they could just pop this. They'd put the spring on when they were assembling it, right? Put the spring on. They'd pop it in place, and those little pieces would kind of like engage, right? And lock it into place. So if I were to modify this, though, what I would have to do is, I think what I would have to do is put it in the enclosure with the spring on it and kind of clamp it into place. Oh, come on. Kind of clamp it into place and then do all my modifications to it. And like I said, I don't know what the resolution is on a 3D print, so I don't know if I can get plastic that's that kind of like movable. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'd have to like clamp it like this. Let me see. I'd clamp it like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like that's the thing that like I'm not sure about, right? Like I'm sure that we can get like pretty close in Fusion, and I know Fusion, I've only used Fusion like a little tiny bit. So I'm not a whiz at Fusion. Yeah, I am not a whiz at Fusion, so I don't know if I could really pull it off, especially with all those angles. And with these little tiny pieces, right? I just don't know. They definitely wouldn't stay on glued. And I just don't know if I could achieve that small of a piece with a 3D print. Probably not. Unless I did like a resin. Can you do like a resin print with like really fine plastic? That would be something. But I'm guessing that I would imagine that it's mold injected, right? So, I'm not going to be able to do a mold injected button, a one-off mold injected button, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And, I was hoping that maybe people would have some ideas. So, yeah, I'm just kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck, especially since, I haven't heard back yet. But, I mean, I could hear back, like, after this live stream, right? So, yeah. So I'm just not sure what to do. Not sure what to do. I did buy super glue. So I've got super glue. But yeah, I just don't know. And like I said, I don't want to add material to this, right? Because if I add material, it might really screw up the distances between the actuators. Because like if you have this slightly off, right? It could totally screw up whatever it's turning on and off, whether it's tap tempo or whatever. So, yeah. That's where I'm at. I got to figure out how to keep it in the enclosure and movable in the enclosure, right? Otherwise, it just pops out and you can't turn it on and off. Otherwise, the pedal works fine. It works totally fine. So, that's where I'm at. But, yeah. So not sure what to do there. Not too sure. Yeah, that's kind of all I had planned for today because, yeah, I was trying to give this a little bit of time, Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there might be, yeah, I mean, maybe somebody might have something kicking around, eh? Maybe I could, yeah, maybe I'll try that. That's actually a really good idea. Maybe I'll try that because I'm assuming that these things get repaired all the time, right? And it's one of those things they might have, but but could you use photo? I don't even know. Oh, like a 3D scanner. A 3D scanner. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I've never used that either. I mean, that would certainly help achieving the angles, and I think you'd still go through with like a, um, the little measuring tool. God, I can't think today. Shocker. Uh, yeah, I could try that. I just got to think of where I would find one. I could probably rig one up, right? You can rig them up with like a camera and like an Arduino, right? That could be something. Maybe we should try that. That would be cool to get a photo, like a 3D scan of it, and then it would certainly need... Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, that might be worth a shot. Especially if I'm redoing the part, right? Again, the only thing about redoing the part is that maybe I need to think of a way to make it a little bit, I guess I could, yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, how am I going to keep it in the enclosure? Because I just don't know if I can get a 3D printer that's going to be able to print something that size. That is so small. Like, I mean, I know they're pretty good for accuracy, but I think it would have to be like a resin-based one. But I don't know enough about 3D printing. I've only done a little bit of 3D printing in my life. But definitely getting my feet wet in Fusion would be a really good idea, because we're going to need it for the sampler, right, Brian? For the enclosure. So getting the feet wet in Fusion again would be a really wise decision, I think. But yeah, I just don't... I know this isn't going to hold if I try to glue it. Otherwise, I would try gluing it. It's just not worth my time. But yeah, maybe we should look into 3D. Let's look into some 3D scanning. Just give me 1 sec here. Let's look into some 3D scanning. See what's available. Let's see what's available out there for us, right? All right. Maybe there's like a service. I have no idea. Let's see. I've selected the wrong... Yeah, you know what? That's... Yeah. Let me think about that. For a second. I could ask... That is a... You know what? Now that I think about it, that's actually not the worst. That's definitely a route that we could go, is like, can I modify it in a way that you have an on-off button and a tap tempo button? That's just what I'm assuming. Why they separated two buttons. Otherwise, why would you have two buttons if one didn't serve a certain function, right? And the other served a different function. That's sort of my thought pattern, right? But like, modifying this enclosure is probably not the wisest decision in the world, given how it's set up and how it's metal. So it'd be rehousing the whole thing. It's whether he wants to put that kind of money into it too, right? But let me pull up some 3D scanning, because that's still an option that I think is interesting enough to explore. Let's go here. Let's do this. Let's go 3D scanning. See what your Googly says. Oh, so they sell these guys here. What was the thing that Brian said it was called? I think it was, let me copy and paste it. Photo. I'm going to copy it. Come on. Let me just copy it. Stop it. There we go. Copy. Oh, I never even thought if you guys can see all that. Hold on, let me shrink this guy down here. Boop. There we go. That's better. It's a little bit better for you guys. All right. And we'll go, let's see. New tab. Paste. Obtaining reliable 3D measurements and models from overlapping photographs. Okay. That's kind of cool. So, well, here you go. Free tool. So what do you just load up a bunch of, oh, neat. No shit. So I guess you just have to like take a shit ton of pictures of it, eh? I'm guessing. You just take like a whack load of pictures. I have a little 3D, or not a 3D, but I've got a, what do you call it? I've got like a box, a light box that I could take pictures in too. So it could be, so I wonder if you can then take those, so I guess what it would be whether I can import that model that would be created into Fusion, right? Can I bring it into Fusion, verify all the measurements and stuff, and then add to it, because we need to add in our 3D wings or whatever, right? So that's something that's pretty neat though. I mean, you can do one for free. You can do 10 of them for free. That's more than enough. We don't need to do any more than that. And then, cool. Okay. That's an interesting idea for sure. Let me think about that. It's pretty cool. Because I think I would imagine that it's probably more accurate than a 3D scan. But again, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I was just looking at somebody else's YouTube channel. Guy's like I forget his name right now, but he's like a fusion whiz. Real impressive skill set with Fusion. I wish I could remember his name so you guys could check him out. But really impressive skill set that he has with Fusion. It's insane. Yeah, that would be really cool. It'd be really cool to try to do that. One thing I did just notice is that there is a part number on the bigger button there. So I'm going to look up and see what that is, because maybe that'll give us some indication as to what function it serves, because then Johnny's right. We could just, the other option would be using two separate, what do you call it? Like guitar buttons, foot switch buttons. These guys. And I've got the ones that are you guys know what they look like. You guys know what they look like. But yeah, they're like the soft press ones. They're not the clicky kind. I guess we'd have to do some testing on that, because yeah, I need to figure out how that works. We'll have to figure out how that works. Because there's a couple tap modes, right? And then there's regular mode. So maybe let's look up the part number first. Let's look up the part number and see if we get anything. Okay, let's do that. Before we spitball too many ideas, right? Let's make sure we know what we're talking about. Or at least have like an idea. Let's go line 6. See, this guy always comes up, eh? And I don't think he has the part. Yeah. I don't think this guy has the parts that we're looking for, but he comes up every single time. Probably because it's line 6 parts. At least they're pretty well, his prices are pretty good, so. Is there a way to search this site? Here we go. 30-27-0097. Yeah. I don't think he has it. Yeah. Maybe line 6 switch. Let's just see. Maybe he doesn't have the part number in there. Push buttons, yeah. I mean, it would be here if it was if he had it available, right? Yeah. Bummer. It would be so convenient. Let's go shopping. Maybe it'll come up here. No. Images. Oh, wait a second. This guy's got a little spiel here. Floor toe. Am I going to get... Oh, images are subject to copyright? Okay, well, whoops. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not sure what to do here. Okay, you know what? It is not soldered in place. Let me go to the overhead. So interesting. And it might be difficult for you guys to see this. Sorry about that. I knocked the camera. Oh boy. Things are falling apart around here already. Whatever. So it looks like... Oh, it came out. Shit. Dave, you're breaking stuff, man. Okay. Okay. So this button came apart. And it's like all these little thin metal pieces. And then there's a solder pad on the PCB. Check it out. Check it out. See that? There's like a pad on the PCB. So it's some sort of, so like the switch is, so it's like, yeah, that's weird, man. I've never seen anything quite like that. Why they would do that? What kind of switch is this? I wish I understood. And I wish I could. And I hope I put the metal strips back properly. Anyhow, I'm going to try to just slide them in there and yeah. This is a real pain. Just one sec here. There we go. I got it off, thankfully. So these must sit like that. And then it like, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's right. Yeah, exactly, Brian. It's like a giant tactile switch. I just wish I knew the benefit. Like what's the point of this? You know what I mean? Like when I'm sure they make a switch that would do this, right? Maybe they don't make like a soft on-off switch that does like this kind of thing with like a tap. Maybe they don't make like a dedicated tap tempo switch, and this was their way of having it all, not having a separate tap tempo button. And so they designed this little thing so that you can turn on the pedal, and when you have it in tap tempo mode, you can tap on it. Just crazy. I don't know. Kind of at a loss in terms of what to do. I think Johnny brought up a good idea. But we'd need to mess around with the pedal a bit more and make sure that if we did any of that rehousing, I'd have to talk to the owner of the pedal. See if that's something they want to do. Seeing that it could be a complete crapshoot, right? Yeah, it could be a complete crapshoot. So, yeah, not sure what to do. Yeah. But I like both ideas. I like the idea of doing like a 3D kind of like rendering or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like that idea. I like Johnny's idea of rehousing it. So, I don't know. I got to figure this out. Anyways, thanks for throwing some ideas around with me. I just really appreciate it. As always, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll think about it a bit more this week. Maybe I'll talk to the owner too and see what he wants to do. Hopefully I'll hear back from line 6 maybe, or maybe I'll reach out to that website who is selling line 6 parts. Maybe they have one kicking around that they don't have listed on their website. That's possible. Or maybe even just ask line 6 about what the function of both of the buttons are. Maybe they'll be, maybe they'll, what is the word? They'll be, maybe they'll be open to telling me like what the deal is with this stuff. So that maybe we can actually repair it in a way that's a little more robust. Even if they don't have an original switch left, right? So anyhow, yeah, that's where we're going to leave it today, I think. I think we got some good ideas thrown out. So now it's just sort of, we'll wait and see. But, yeah, I think I'll see what the owner says. And then maybe next week, if we don't hear anything, we'll do something simple, maybe. Like maybe I have a Digitech Whammy over there. That's mine, personal pedal. That just needs a new rotary encoder, I think. So maybe we'll do that, because that would be a nice, like, chill, do a little desoldering, that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah. So, if just sort of like last call, if anybody has any questions about the S3-1200, feel free to fire away. If you're not comfortable asking me here, you can hit me up on the usual spots: Patreon, TikTok, Instagram, yada, yada, yada. Join the Discord. Discord's a lot of fun. Feel free to join that. Other than that, I think that's it for today. So I guess I'll see you either Monday, or you'll see the new video on Wednesday for sure. Yeah, depending on how well I'm coming along, how progress is going with that video, I'll try to hop on Mondays. So anyways, have a great weekend, and hope you have the great rest of your week and weekend. And that's about it. That's it for today. Thanks again for coming. We had Brian here, and we had Johnny here. Really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. All right, guys, take it easy, and I will see you next time. Later.